VM instance templates. So along with the demonstration, in this video, let's understand about VM instance templates, which is again a method to simplify the VM creations. So with the instance templates, we don't need to define all the components as like machine family, image, disk options, startup script, and any compute options every time whenever we create an instance. So it helps us to simplify the process. How? By defining one template of VM instance, and we can use the same template to create multiple VM instance. Okay, so let's practically understand how it works. So here I am in my Google console, where within compute engine. So earlier we created a VM instance from here, right? So though we created from here, it is under VM instance. So if you see here, there is an option as like instance templates. So this is where from here we need to create templates, and with this created templates we can create multiple VMs at a point of time, and this would help us to simplify the process of creating multiple VMs. And in terms of defining all the components of the compute engine every time, we can go with the single shot. Let me show you how to do so. So just click here in instance template. So once you click instance template option, you'll be coming under the instance template, and here you can see the option to create the, here you'll be seeing the options to create the template. So click here. So basically we are defining all the components in the templates. Okay, first one is you need to define the name of the template, and so whatever name you are defining to this template, that name would be taken by default whenever you are creating a new VM. Maybe post to that means in the continuation to that would be having a number as well, but maybe I'll show you one thing. My instance template, so this is the name I'm giving. Okay, and so here you can define your machine family. So what happens if I choose this E2 micro as my machine family? So whenever I create a VM, whenever I create a VM instance using this template, all the VM would be having the same machine family, that is E2 micro with 2 shared virtual CPU along with 1 GB memory. Not only with machine family, but also with the other components just like disk, boot disk, image options, and startup script, and everything so on. Okay, so I'm just going with the default one. I'm not making any changes, and even the firewall rule as well. And maybe I'll just allow only HTTP traffic. And in addition to that, what I am doing, I'm just adding the startup script to deploy the Apache web server, right? Okay, I'm just getting to management, and here I am adding the script, the startup script which we used in the previous video. But in the previous video, we have created only one VM using the startup script. However, here we are not creating a VM now. We are defining a template, and once we define the template, then with the same template, we can create n number of VM automatically. Means in a short span of a time, it will deploy with all the defined components. So that's it. I'm not making changes to the other component. I'm just going with the default one. So now I have modified the means I have added the startup script, and in addition to that, I have allowed firewall rules, and I have changed the machine family. So nothing more than that. As it's a demonstration, I'm just creating in this way. So now what happened? Now our instance template is created. Okay, so we can go here in the VM instance. You would be seeing another option to create a VM instance using the template. Let's see. So once you create instance, click the button to create the instance. In the left side, you would be seeing an option new VM instance from template. So if you're going with a new VM instance, it's different as like how we did in the previous video. It's to create this is where you need to define every time. Okay, but if you have a defined template, then you can go with this option new VM instance from template. Okay, so once you come here, your template which we have created, right, it would be shown here. If you have multiple templates, you'll be seeing multiple templates here. As of now, I have created only one template in the name of my instance template, so that it's showing here. So what I can do, I can just select it and you can continue to create VM. In the production, you would be seeing multiple templates, because each and every time, in a production we would be following certain kind of regulations, right? We would be maintaining few things, as like for few kind of deployments, for few VMs, or under few projects, we would be maintaining the same kind of components. So we would be creating multiple templates, and based on that, whenever we create a VM, we usually go with the template to avoid discrepancies or differences in the VM deployed in the projects. So if you see the name, right, so we have given this for our template name. So as we are creating a VM in a from the template, by default it is getting the template name, and following to that it is adding the numerical value 1. But actually this is the VM name, and if you want to change, yes, you can do it. But as it's a demonstration, I'm not making any changes as of now. So one more thing is, actually when you are defining a template, it is not allow. It doesn't ask you to define the region, because defining a region or a zone is not part of a template. It depends on the VM which you deploy. So it's not limited to the template. Whenever you deploy VM, you can define at which region and zone you want to deploy it. But if you see here in the machine family, it automatically inherited from the template, because by default there would be other machine type, but as we chose E2 micro with 2 vCPU and 1 GB memory in the template, it is chosen now. And also if you see, it has this default OS. And if you see the firewall rule, right, we have not made any firewall rule now. Actually it is inherited from the template, because by default only 4 firewall rules are added whenever we create new virtual instance. So in order to allow a firewall rule for firewall the traffic for HTTP, we manually do it. However, now this time I have not done many changes. It automatically inherited. It automatically taken from the template. And also if we check the advanced options, right, see already it has the startup script, because it taken from the template. I'm just create. That's it. Now the VM is created. Along with that, Apache server will be also installed on the top of it. So if we just compare for the very first time, couple of videos before, when we create the VM in the demonstration video, if you see how much time we took to deploy, to create a VM instance and to deploy an Apache server on the top of it, and that was simplified by using the startup script in the previous video, where we have deployed VM, and using a startup script we have automated one part, as like deploying the web server, Apache web server. However, this one, we don't need to mention anything, we don't need to make changes to anything. As we have created a template, we can just create, just click a button, create. It would be creating in a short span of time. Maybe I can show you again. If this time, if you see, right, just create instance. As I already defined everything in the template, right? Just see how quick we are creating it. Just going with the template, continue. Okay, this is default. I'm not making any changes. Everything is auto populated. Just create. That's it. I just clicked create button. That's it. The VM is created. On the top of it, Apache web application is also deployed. But let's check. This first VM which we created earlier is live now. I think the web server should be working. See, Apache is deployed, and the script, as per the script, it modified, or it printed the statement whichever we given in the index.html page. That's the reason we are seeing this. Else we'd be seeing the default Apache web server page. Also, let me check with this IP as well. Okay, I think now web application is deployed. The process, it is on the process, I would think. If I refresh it, see. So as I said earlier, right? So whenever you're going with the startup script, allow some 2 minutes time so that it will complete the entire process. So this is how using the instance templates you can minimize or you can simplify the process of creating VM. You can define everything at one time, and once you define all the components, you no need to define every time, because if you define one time, with that you can create n number of VM shortly.